Hi, I'm Lauren English, licensed professional counselor and business development representative with Pinnacle Point Hospital, and I'm happy to be here for Wellness Wednesday. Today, we're going to be talking about how to be cool with coping with change. A lot of times in life, change can be really hard, especially for kids. And one skill that they really need to learn is that life is always changing. So, if they can learn to cope with change at an early age and work on it at home and how they react, it's going to serve them well throughout their lives. So let's talk about change. Coping with it can be really hard. It can be moving to a new house, starting a new hobby, or getting a new sibling. Even a small change in your life can affect your schedule and it can add more stress. So, change is going to happen. We know this, and that's why it's important for us to talk about it. How we can be more flexible and how we can cope in a positive way. Here are some tips to cope with change. Number one, prepare. Sometimes you're able to know beforehand if a change is going to happen, and this gives you time to get ready for it. Try to think about some things that you can do to make the change go more smoothly. Begin solving any problems that you think might come up. A lot of times you can get out a sheet of paper and write down your feelings if you're having a hard time verbalizing them. Kids kind of have a hard time with that. So parents, you can get a worksheet out, talk about some feelings that may be coming up, some worries that are coming up with the change, and that can really help put those feelings out on the paper and out in conversation. Next, we'll say share your feelings. So after we prepare, we want to be able to share what's going on. Talk about how you're feeling with a friend or an adult. Even if the change is something positive, you might still feel anxious or scared or sad or even angry about it. So make sure you're expressing these feelings to somebody. This is going to be able to help find a healthy way to cope and feel better. If you have somebody in your life that you can just share with, that's always going to be more helpful than keeping it to yourself. Think of positive ways that you usually cope with your feelings. Maybe for you, it is talking, maybe it's writing, maybe journaling is something that's helped you in the past. Whatever that's helped you in the past to help cope with change, try to go to that first and then go from there if that's not helping in the moment. And then next, I would say use positive self-talk. When all of these feelings come up, it can be really easy to just focus on everything bad that's going to happen because of the situation. And a lot of times that's where our mind goes to first, is worst case scenario. So it's usually helpful to try to identify good things about the upcoming change. You can use these things to come up with positive statements and say to yourself when you start to feel nervous or sad or have any other feeling. Try telling yourself everything's going to work out. We're just going to focus on the good things that can happen because of this change. And then last, I would say freeze. Sometimes change is going to happen suddenly and you're not going to have time to prepare and you're not going to have time to talk to somebody and really focus on how to handle it. So before you react, you want to stop and think about the best way to handle the situation. Using positive self-talk or another coping skill to help with how you're feeling in the moment can be really helpful. A lot of times it's easier to learn to be okay with change than try to fight against it. So I hope some of these tips have helped you out today in being cool with coping with change. And I hope that these are some ideas that you can use as a family if you're facing change of any type in your life. Always at Pinnacle Point Hospital, we are available at 1-800-880-3322 if you feel your child is in need of a mental health assessment. We are happy to help and have licensed professionals ready. Thanks so much.